Dandelion. Guess who's here with me? Dandelion. We got Dandelion followed me over because he's such a good little boy. I called him over because he was waiting in the grass at a cute spot, and then he came to join me in the combo classroom. Dandy, come on. That's a good little helper. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be petting Dandelion while we begin our stream with the chats and such. Thank you all for finding time on whatever you do or don't celebrate on this Christmas Eve to join me, or to any viewers watching in the future. Still going to be worth it. I have a lot of cool surprises planned for today, and one of them turned out to be Dandelion right here. The other ones involve this campfire, possibly. Once Dandelion is done hanging out with us, we may light some flames of some sort. In fact, I may try and cook something on it because I brought sandwich materials. And there's a math phenomena called Fermat's sandwich theorem that I could talk about while I cook a sandwich on the campfire. That is one possible plan. Another thing I'll have to show you in a minute is a lot of cool dice. So on my birthday, my parents got me broken clocks. Sounds like a ridiculous gift, but it's exactly what I wanted and needed. We're starting our collection and growing it. And for this holiday season, what I got was dice, the other thing that I'm known to love around here in the combo class. And there's actually new types of dice in this bag that I didn't have before. Different amounts of faces and such. So we'll look at those in a little bit. Let me make sure Dandelion's happy and getting his pets. Oh, it's a noisy day today in the neighborhood. We got our crows, we got our car alarms. So feel free to ask questions in the comments for whoever asks that. I will answer them in a minute. First, I just wanted to note, what am I doing today on Christmas Eve? Well, I am about 3/4 Jewish and 1/4 Christian. Just going back to the grandparents, there were 3 sort of more Jewish, 1 sort of more Christian. And so some of my relatives, like my uncle who passed away, had been Christian. My dad ended up going down more the Jewish route because he married my mom, who was more on that side. And so my family usually celebrates Hanukkah, which is the Jewish celebration around the wintertime. But we have thrown in a few Christmases for fun because there's similar winter holidays at heart. And we've actually some years been like, okay, we won't get out the menorah, we'll buy a Christmas tree, we'll do that instead. This year we didn't do too much because my family was in and out of town. We were all busy in different ways. And for Christmas Eve tonight, my family is going to a tradition thing with a family friend, a close friend of my family, but it involves eating a lot of crab. They have this tradition that they've started for some reason where on Christmas they gather and eat a lot of crab. Turns out I am allergic to some types of shellfish probably. Now I've gotten a scary reaction from them before, and so I haven't yet tested thoroughly whether I can eat certain types of shellfish. Some people are allergic to all of them and it just develops when they're in their 20s, like may have happened to me. Some people are only allergic to some types, like not mollusks or not crustaceans or something. And I haven't tested it, and there will be a combo class episode at some point that'll be pretty intense, where I will have someone on deck with an EpiPen, and I will eat shellfish and test if I have a reaction or not. Now, the reason it's dangerous to keep trying and testing that reaction is that the first few times, hey, Dandelion. The first few times you just get these like welts that are itchy and your skin gets puffy and stuff, but it has what's called a reverse tolerance or an anti-tolerance. Normally a tolerance to a thing, like a drug, is when you do it more often, you don't feel it as much. Like somebody who does a bunch of a drug gets a tolerance to it and it doesn't hit them as hard. But there's an anti-tolerance with shellfish reactions where each time you get it, if you have the allergy, it can develop late, like in your 20s or 30s sometimes, and each time you get the reaction, it gets worse than the last time, an anti-tolerance. And so basically the doctors were like, yeah, the first few times, if you have this reaction, it looks like you'll just get welts or something, and you can just take like a Benadryl or something and it'll go away. The next like 10 times, you might have your throat start closing up. And I'm like, okay, that's bad. We don't want to be testing that too much. So we'll test that very carefully in a combo class episode someday. But For now, I've dodged eating shellfish, just in case I get another one of those weird reactions. It was just on a few shrimps over the years have hit me weird, or given me welts and stuff, so we'll see. But I'm dodging the crab night tonight, and instead opting for a little campfire cat stream. Who's a curious little dandelion? Don't worry, folks. I clean up all the broken glass and stuff before the cats come and play in here, and we don't light any campfires while they're around. The cats are very safe and loved for. They get a lot of love. So now I'm going to go through your comments real quick before we do any more celebratory stuff. Oh, but first I guess I'll say, so even though I'm not going to a crab night, Christmas is a nice holiday. Nice to have a winter holiday. Doesn't matter whether you do Christmas or Hanukkah in my book, but happy Christmas if that's what you celebrate today. And even if you don't, you know, whatever, we can have a happy Christmas. So, now, let's see what else we got in the comments. Someone is wondering if grade 0 is next. Now, no, because grade 0 I sort of think of in my head as before grade -1. It's the first on the direction before you go that way. 0 is actually the start or the center, sort of, and then you can go either direction. You can even go toward I, but grade I will be something strange, so that might be a book or documentary I write someday. But grade -1, I believe, came after what I consider grade 0, the build-up to it, where I became Demotro, which is a long saga. Now, some of the saga has been revealed over streams, so you can find a lot of the weird lore of my life if you watch through all the old streams. But I'll also compile some footage you guys have never seen and some stories you guys have never heard at various points, one of which will be a grade -1 finale. Will be pretty long and have a lot of flashbacks and stuff. But grade 0 was sort of a rare period that you guys have just seen a little bit of the lore of. Next will be grade -2, and that will start in a few months. So in a few months, you can expect I'll probably have a new lab coat, haircut, and desk, and we will let the cycle begin again, as well as continuing from some points where we left off. Like, some things will be reset, but we're still going to have accumulated some clocks and a carpet of dice. Now, before we look at any new dice, let's just admire the dice carpet that's forming. All these dice are not spilled on the ground. They're embedded in the ground. They're flat. They got stepped on when it was muddy, and then they became a dice carpet, and it'll happen even more and more. Now, someone said they want to play 10,000. I'm not sure what that is. Let me know what that means. How many cats do I have? I have 3 right now, because there's 2 that are brothers. Dandelion has a twin brother who's a silky, smaller version, who's this silky small one, Sage, is like the wisest, smartest cat I know, and when he's in the mood for love, he's a love lord. Dandelion is a little more clumsy and naive, but is just pure love. So they're the perfect cat in sort of different ways. Sage, his twin, is sort of like a sculpted, magnificent, perfect cat you'd create in, like, The Sims or something. And Dandelion's an alien and a silly lovelord. And then there's a third one who may be related, because he came from this house of strays that maybe they got picked up from. Long story. But there's one who looks a lot like them, who may be related, who we adopted at the house, whose name's Sassafras, and he's new, and he was feral a year ago, like completely stray, wouldn't let a human anywhere near him, and now he loves when I pet him. So maybe the others will visit. And someone said what time it was for them. For me, it is 4:40 p.m. So it's gonna, in about 1 hour, which will probably still be streaming, I'm not positive, but if we're still streaming in an hour, it's just gonna go like pitch black. Like within 10 minutes. The darkness hits so fast, so early right now. Someone wondered, what's the function of Euler's number? So the function, there's a few ways we could define it. A lot of people name the number as the base of the natural logarithm, but that doesn't really explain things, because the natural logarithm is often explained as the logarithm with e as the base. So it's sort of circular logic if you define them both that way. You need to take one of them at least and sort of expand upon it. And one way you could define e is that e to the x is the only function with that assuming you call it start 1, you say 0, e to the 0 is 1, and from there, the only function who's of a certain normal type, whose position is always its slope. And so you could derive e from that graph. There's also a limit-based way of doing it. And let me confirm this before I quote anything. But the limit-based way we could write it is, well, the really cool way, I kind of want to say, there's a way we could do it with infinite reciprocals. That way, I'm kind of saving because I'm going to make a really cool episode about which infinite series add up to what finite values if they don't diverge. Like some infinite series diverge to infinity, others converge to finite values, and some converge on very interesting values. And there's a really cool one that connects factorials in E. But the other way we could do it right here, the limit-based way we could write it as a formula in the simplest way is, and let's see, I could write it on a whiteboard. If only I had a whiteboard. Where on earth am I going to get a whiteboard? Guys think I'm set on whiteboards for a minute? These may contain subtle clues of whatever episode you're going to see next on the main channel, because like that number 24 had something to do with the next episode and whatever these crumbs say. So the easiest way we could write it, Euler's identity, apart from the really cool factorial connection I'll show you later, is it's the limit as n goes to infinity of 1 plus 1 over n to the n. So this basically, as you put a large n in there, it's close to e. Let's test it. 1 plus 1 over 1,000 to the power of 1,000. Let's see what that equals. Let's see how close that gets us. 1, I'm doing a little calculator here. Well, let's pull up Wolfram Alpha. I'm not gonna switch the screen over. I'll do this real quick. 1 plus 1,000th, all to the power of 1,000. And that gets us, well, let's put about 2 2.717-ish. It's 0.169 something. Okay, fine, I'll write the 69. It's 0.69 something. Now, that got all weird. 2.7169. Now, what is E actually? It is 2.718. So, super close when we plug in 1,000. It's already pretty big. And so, as you plug in bigger and bigger n, you get closer and closer to E. Now, here's the thing. If you're hoping for like a little algebraic formula, like x cubed minus 1 equals 0, the solution is E or something, that's proven to be impossible because E is not an algebraic irrational number. E is a transcendental irrational number. So there's whole families of algebraic equation that we know cannot generate E. The only ways you can really do it is with these infinite sum sort of deals. Or infinite limit or infinite sum that we'll see later. This isn't the sum version. The sum relates to factorials. So, let's see. And someone said Euler's a great topic for today. Euler will often come up. Euler is probably the greatest mathematician of all time. I love how when you look up, there's a whole Wikipedia article about things named after Euler. And one of the first sentences is, in order to not have everything named after Euler, we often name things after the second person who discovered them. You know, you're such a boss when they ran out of naming like
your name theorem, your name conjecture, your name this, your name that. They like ran out of those and they're like, we can't name another thing after him. We have to name it after the next guy who found it. Someone's wondering what YouTube channels I like. So, for math channels is probably what most people are thinking. The top tier ones are Mathologer, Stand Up Maths, Numberphile, 3 Blue 1 Brown. Those are the top tier ones. And there's a lot of great other math channels as well. I also just watch a lot of YouTube, so I like a variety of things. I love things with an old school YouTube vibe. I like people doing stunts or weird challenges or stuff. And I like certain types of commentary video essays are fun to watch. Let's see. One of the best channels out right now is Channel 5 with Andrew Callahan. That is just a great, like, real life channel. There's a variety I love. I'll make a list for you guys sometime. Because I do watch a lot of YouTube. I don't watch much other stuff. And thank you to whoever added that I'm also top tier. To be honest, if someone just says, like, I'm the greatest math channel ever, I almost am more proud if someone's like, you're the 4th best math channel after these other ones that I agree are, like, the best. Because then I'm like, whoa, they actually, like, watch a lot of stuff like that, and they think I'm near that. Because I think I need a bigger body of work to be considered the best math channel, but I think I have the potential to be eventually. So, I'm not expecting to be called the greatest, but maybe after grade -5 we'll be there. So, someone's wondering if Euler's numbers are a logical number. I don't know what you mean by logical number exactly, but it is a very fundamental number. Movement in space, kind of vague question. It's cool. Someone said 10,000's a gambling dice game. That does sound fun. I do like gambling with my friends, and I like dice. One fun dice gamble I did with my friend once. This is just an absurd thing. Don't necessarily try this, although it gives you a fun thrill. Is so we rolled. I think it was 4 dice. I think. What is the chance of what's 1/6 to the power of 4? It was 4 dice, and so there's a 1 in 1,296 chance that if you roll 4 normal dice, they all hit 1s. So me and my friend did a bet where I would, a few times in a row, pay him $1, get to roll 4 dice. If they don't all 4 hit 1s, he just gets the $1. And if all 4 hit 1s, he pays me $1,296. And it's mathematically completely fair. If we kept playing it for every 1,296 times I gave him $1, I would hit the cash back. But it was just hilarious. I didn't win the $1,296. I just gave him like $5, but it was such a thrill when you'd get like 2 1s. You're like, oh my god. So that was, I can't get distracted because I just wanted to know, that's fun. Poker and gambling and stuff in small scale is fun. I've had fun at casinos too, but don't lose too much money there. If you go to those, don't do slot machines or something. Do something that's like more real world, like a poker or maybe a blackjack or something. But you're not going to have odds of winning unless you're a really, really good poker player. You're not going to have more than 50% odds at a casino. More fun to gamble with your friends than if you lose, your money's staying within the squad. Me and my friends have gambled a lot of money for fun. Back in the day when I used to drink a bunch and we were crazy, we would gamble hundreds and hundreds of dollars to each other for fun, knowing that if we lost it, it was just going to go to our like really good friend. Not that I recommend that. And I don't really like going to casinos or anything, so I haven't done anything like that in a long time. I play poker with my friends maybe once every few months. Yeah, and you should be careful with that. Like, gambling is an addiction. I don't have that, but other people have that addiction, so you got to be careful. Someone said it was cool when E showed up in the Tetration episode. Yeah, that Tetration episode really blew up. I need more main channel episodes to hit the algorithm like that. All the combo lords, remember, whenever you see a main channel episode, drop a random comment on it, because the bonus channel is blowing up just fine. It doesn't need any help. It's just going wild. But the main channel needs some help catching up. So the truest combo lords, go back and whenever you rewatch a video, drop a random cool comment on it. So what's annoying about algorithms is they really care about comments, the amount of interaction that has, and that means that controversial content always does really well because it gets like a lot of criticism, and those count for the algorithm as comments. So unfortunately, if you like don't piss a bunch of people off, you get less comments. So let's fill my comment sections with a lot of love and still a lot of comments. So all right. Thank you to all the people noting other things, and whoever said mathology is too hard. Back in the day, I didn't understand all this stuff, and I think it would still help me to watch it, and watching stuff that can be over your head can still be helpful. You can trust what he says. He's really good. He's really trustworthy, so you can just watch it and kind of have it sink into something that you're like, maybe I'll understand that someday. I still do that with like really hard proofs I don't understand, like 10-page papers. I'll like read them and not really understand them, but it's probably good for me. So another one who mentioned Vsauce. Yes, Vsauce is one of the absolute best. Vsauce is the tier of those. I didn't mention him because he doesn't always do math. He does philosophy, science, various stuff. But Vsauce's current videos, the last few years, are masterpieces. Every Vsauce video is better than like any movie coming out. So, he is completely top tier. So people said, how about board games that involve dice rolling? And yeah, me and one of my friends were trying to come up with some cool rules for a game that occurred to me and my friend one day, where it's like a chess board, but your pieces are dice. And part of the interaction involves, you can turn your pieces as a turn, like tick them up or down a number maybe, and other interactions would be based on the number on it. You'd be able to hop certain amounts. So dice being the pieces that could turn to other numbers would be kind of cool for a board game. So someone said all money goes to the beer fund, and that is not true for combo class. In fact, I will note that although I'm totally cool with a bunch of my friends like drinking beer, people use different stuff to party. I do not judge people. But I used to have a big alcohol problem, and now I just drink something like sparkling water if it's a celebratory day today, because I find ways to get wild in my brain without alcohol. And yeah, I haven't drank in more than a year and a half, just so you guys know. So combo class money actually more goes to the clock and dice fund. So someone's wondering if I play any video games. I really don't. There's like some games I played as a kid that were like, the ones I liked were point and click adventures, where it's more about the world and about gathering clues than about fast clicking and shooting or whatever. So maybe someday on a stream, like on Twitch or something, I'll stream some old games that I used to like. But I really don't play many video games. I have like one friend who's super into them, so I'll get like exposed to them when I hang out with him. But and my brother likes some games. My brother does some video gaming, but really didn't ever hit me like that. Not really. I want to design video games someday. I have ideas for what would be cool video games. So if anyone designs video games, I got cool like maps and mechanisms in my brain. So let's see. Just ask people whether 0 is a natural number in every video. Ton of comments guaranteed. I could do that. Or I could just, sometimes you get, the one way I accidentally piss people off is I'm casual with my terminology sometimes. So sometimes if I'm implying that we're talking about whole numbers, I might just say number, and people are like, you're supposed to say integer. And then I'm like, yeah, I know, but like if I make every time I say number integer, it makes the episode like hit the intuition less. I want the episode to be digestible and hit the intuition, you know? And so I think being casual with the phrasing can help. And then in between clarifying, here's the strict definition. Okay, now I'm being a little casual, you know what I mean? Here's another strict definition. So in those casual times, like there was one where the plural of vertex is vertices, And I kept accidentally switching them where I would call a single one a vertice or called a double one's vertexes. And that pissed off a lot of people. But whatever. You might not have as much fun with combo class if you're super nitpicky about when to use terminology. I think that's really silly because terminology changes over time and already is different in different parts of the world. So people who are like, no, but this is the right way, are actually just not looking at the big picture of the world. There isn't a right way. The point is to try and be understandable. Someone said they like PBS Spacetime, and what I really like that is there was one that they stopped making videos for. They stopped funding it. Is PBS Infinite Series. That's a math-based one that is really cool. That's like a YouTube channel that just had like 50 or 100 episodes that are really good. So let's see, a lot of good comments. Thank you all so much. You're all wonderful. And cool. You're all awesome. So what we're going to do for our agenda today, and in fact, let's write an agenda on the board here, because then if people pop in or out of the stream, maybe they'll have a little more fun, analyzing or sticking around for what other crazy stuff we're going to get into. So we have on top, because we'll come back to it various times, we'll say Christmas thanks. Let's be thankful that we all have enough free time and shelter right now to be talking digitally. So I don't even believe in most of the Christian stuff, but we can still be thankful for it. And to people who say there's like some war on Christmas by like, now everyone will say happy holidays or whatever, that is ridiculous. I am Jewish and it's fine to say Merry Christmas. Jewish people don't have a problem with Merry Christmas. Happy holidays is just another way of phrasing it. Someone's mentioned that I didn't mention some sixth platonic solid that's the Utah Teapot. I'm not sure what that's a reference to. Let me see that, if that's a reference to something. It says it's a joke in the graphics community. So yeah, I don't do enough graphic design to get that one. Sorry. Looks like a good inside joke though. So Christmas thanks. We're going to keep that on. We don't need to cross it off because we can come back to it. Other activities we have are dice, fire, and sandwich. We're going to make a sandwich and it might be involved with the fire or it might not. We can do a sneak preview of the next main channel episode. I can put that on my screen because I've already started editing it. We can try and find the cats again. Cats sequel. This is getting bad writing because I'm writing at a weird angle. And, oh, that sounds like a sequel to the movie Cats. That is not what we mean. Okay. Not talking about making a sequel to the movie Cats. Definitely not. So, we're going to call that Cats Return. Cats. We're just going to call it Cats. So. Uh-oh. Alright, let's see how much trouble that caused. Didn't break the plate. And didn't break the other thing. Cool. Everything it landed on was either didn't break or was already broken. This is part of that clock that's been through so much. There's a clock there that I keep putting in the... Oh, shoot. I don't have my charger and the battery's dying. Okay, I need to get my charger. Sorry, guys. This is our agenda right here. I want to see comments for which one. The order isn't fixed. So whichever one gets the most votes next, we can do it. So I'm not even sure how visible it is right there. This is like weird angle or something, smudginess. So I got to run in and not have my computer die. We're at 7%, but you can vote for what we're doing. And a dicey grilled sandwich, we can't combine them in that way. You can recommend combos, but Dyson sandwich might not be the combo. We have returned. Thank you to all the combo lords who have stuck around or randomly popped in the meantime. Trying to get this computer plugged in before it 0% us. Alright, I think that's going and charging. I might have to check it in a second. Alright. Thank you all. Now, what's the vote for what you want to do off the thing? We got some fires, some dice grilled sandwiches. We got some gratefulness sandwich. Now, if you say why the difference of square numbers is equal to the tangent line of the regular parabola, to answer that question real quick, well, a regular parabola, if you mean x squared, makes a pretty basic parabola shape. That is the square numbers. So, you know, the tangent will be the slope is the difference between square numbers, because if you do x squared, then there they are. But the difference of square numbers is interesting because they are odd. The difference between each square number is the next odd number. So that also means that each square number, the nth square number, is the sum of the first n odd numbers. We're going to go more into those shapes sometime. They're called figurate numbers. Ones like square, triangular, pentagonal, even cube numbers are these figurate number shapes. And we're going to prove a lot of crazy connections between them. So the battery's super low here. I wonder how I can help it not die. So I'll quit a bunch of programs and double check that this is on the right. Click mess. Okay, yeah, that is as good as it's going to go. Hopefully it charges faster than it uses the power. It's not charging super great, but hopefully it'll do the trick. Now, let's see. People are voting for the fire or the sandwich, and those are somewhat in conjunction. So here's the problem with the fire is that it's wet wood still. All the wood I collected got rained on not that long ago. And someone asked, what do I do if my camera dies? Well, oh, it might die. It's not doing it very well. If my camera dies, I'll restart a stream on my phone somehow. So if it dies, there will be another stream coming right after. But yeah, why isn't it charging fast enough? It's like using more power than it's taking or something. So, I mean, and if it dies, the whole thing's gonna die. So if it randomly dies on me, then I'm gonna have to restart a new one right after, and you guys should stick around. But what I was saying is the wood's wet, so I am probably going to have to put a little bit of lighter fluid on it. Now, remember that when I do stuff like that, it is not a recommendation. I'm doing it so you guys can see it without needing to do it. So nobody copy me. If anyone, no, don't even joke about that you copy it. It has to be the opposite joke, because I don't want YouTube to ever get mad at my streams. If I light fires and stuff, I'm safe to myself. I'm safe to the world. So no copying. And if anything, we should have jokes about like, oh, that you would never do any of the stuff except the math. And someone said maybe if I lower the resolution. I don't even know how to do that really. I'm kind of looking at the settings right here. So I'm not positive how to do that. And the battery says 1%, so that's not a good sign. So yeah, I don't know why this program's like using it fast and it's charging, or maybe the outdoor thing just had a problem. Oh no, I know what might be happening. The power strip got wet in the rain. I wonder if it's the power strip is dead. I can't, it's giving something through. So, okay, maybe it's that, because I have to plug my charger into a power strip into the wall to fit into the wall. The power strip may not be transmitting it right. Maybe I should try it in a different port in there, maybe, because it's now that I recall, it did get rained on. So that's something that I'll have to use the combo class funds on next. I need to get not only more technology, but a team to help me with this. I am the certain type of brain behind the operation, but not the technological brain. So thank you all for recommending random stuff, and we will get ready to do a fire and a grill. And so why don't we take a peek at the lighter fluid edition and ripping up a little more cardboard. So here is what the fire looks like so far. Let's try and get an angle. We're gonna have to put this on the ground and do a different type of angle. So this is a rare angle for the combo classroom, but this is sometimes our campfire angle. Now, this isn't going to be a campfire tutorial again, because not only do I not want you to copy me, but I'm just going to be like making a sloppy one and adding lighter fluid a little bit. We don't want the sandwich to taste like lighter fluid, so we're going to have to let that burn off and have some actual logs burning before we eat any of it, before we throw a sandwich on. And I do want to get the sandwich on because I have cheese I want to melt. And so we're going to have to try and use lighter fluid just to get it going enough to get these wettish logs gone. And then we're going to have to hope that the logs themselves catch, because then we'll be able to have like a non-lighter fluidy fire. So let's see. So, adding a little lighter fluid. You guys don't need to see the view of this. I don't want YouTube to get mad. Don't use lighter fluid on your own, guys. I know how to do it safely because I've had a lot of practice. Now, of course, remember, folks, we strive for chaotic good, despite the flames and everything. We don't destroy other people's property. We are loving folks. You need chaos once in a while. So, this fire is really going to go up when we start it, and then we're just going to have to hope that it's hot enough to catch some other stuff. So, I hope the battery doesn't die while I light the fire. That would be bad. I think it's slowly climbing up. It went down to 1% and then up to 3%. So we're going to hope that it's charging faster than it's doing whatever. So, who's ready for a fire? I need to see, when I see 3 comments saying that they're grateful, and I've already seen 1. I need 2 more comments about how grateful people are right now, that they're able to hang out in the combo classroom with the fire. And then we're going to celebrate by trying to light some sandwiches. I'm going to get the sandwich material, but I need some people to be super grateful right now. Because even if you don't believe in Christmas or whatever, I don't really care about most of that part. It's still an excuse to have a nice little holiday time. All right. This is what the sandwich is going to look like. So, thank you so much. I have a little delay on the comments, but now I'm seeing those grateful responses. And thank you. I love you so much, guys. That is awesome. We got enough gratefuls to be grateful enough to light a fire. Now, someone's asking real quick, if the difference of the squares is odd numbers, why is the derivative of the square numbers the evens? I'm not sure what you mean. If there's not like a derivative of the square numbers, and if you mean taking what's similar to a derivative by finding the differences, it's the odd numbers, like between 0 and 1 is 1, between 1 and 4 is 3, between 4 and 9 is 5, and so on. So here's what we got for some sandwich stuff. Now, here we got our possibilities. The tomato, we're not going to cook, so I'm not sure how we'll slip that in the sandwich, if it'll work or not. But we'll leave the tomato right here in case. We also have a really old, wrinkled, half orange, half green bell pepper we probably won't use in the sandwich. And we have cheese. We have salami, and we have some ham, so it's a kind of meaty, cheesy sandwich that we might slip a tomato into. I couldn't find any lettuce to throw in there, so we're going with kind of meaty, cheesy sandwich that will definitely be a lot better if it's on the fire. So first, let me cut this cheese a little bit real quick. We're gonna have some cheese cutting ASMR for a second because I want to be ready for the sandwich when it's time. All right, that's a little thick. We want the thin slices so it's going to melt easier. The problem with a grilled cheese this way on the fire is the bread is going to get toasty real quick. So we're going to need really thin cheese to be able to melt the cheese in time before the bread turns like black. You know, it's a really funny YouTube video. There's this one of Gordon Ramsay, the chef, who is entertaining to watch, but this is going to sound like a roast to him because he has, and no, he's a funny guy. Like, I would do something with him for sure, but he has this one tutorial where he makes a grilled cheese sandwich and the outside is all burnt and the inside's not melted at all, and he like doesn't want to redo it, so he's like pretending to really enjoy the grilled cheese and pretend he's like trying to gaslight the viewers that the cheese is melted. And it's like, no, it's not. So got maybe enough cheese. Let's lay this on the bread. So you guys might not be able to see this full tutorial, but hopefully my chatting makes it entertaining enough. We're laying down some cheese on the bread before we roast that fire. So also, there's a lot of fire in like this type of fire, like a contained campfire in this pit, in the next main channel episode. So if we do a sneak preview later, it'll involve that. I already put a sneak preview of the end scene on the Patreon, so remember, awesome people, to check out the Patreon if you want bonus clips or stuff like that, or like your name and credits for some of the tiers. And the next main channel episode, maybe I'll show the beginning of to you guys later. And in all the scenes involved, we had a campfire going for fun. It was cold out here, so there was a reason. It like really warmed up while we were filming. And the episode is beautiful. It's one of my favorites. They're all one of my favorites kind of on the main channel. But this one's really cool. It's like 20 minutes, super mathy. This concept related to divisibility and prime numbers. That's a really simple concept, but I bet most of you don't know about it. I don't know why it's not taught. And then some connections I found between it with combinatorics and with this thing called the partition function. So super cool. One of those episodes that's a mix of something that I just think is undertaught and some things I discovered myself. So those are extra fun. Now, someone's wondering why Christmas and Easter teaches to accept gifts from strangers. I think there should probably be circumstances where you can accept gifts from strangers. I mean, it's a good rule to tell your kid if you need to have, like, kids are so small that they might need a more on and off black and white view of the world. And so it's good to tell a kid, just don't deal with the strangers so you don't get any mix-ups. But really in real life, like, you can take a gift from a stranger possibly, and should be more normalized. People who have more of a thing should just be giving it out. Like if you have a bunch of apples on your tree, you should just be going around town handing out apples, and then maybe someone else gives you something they have too much of. But it isn't as accepted. But people are super scared of strangers, and it's kind of weird. I don't know. Strangers can be cool. I know that like the myth of, kids' candy on Halloween is going to be poisoned is completely a myth, and kids' candy on Halloween has never in the history of Halloweens had a documented case of a kid dying that was proven to be from a non-family member. All the kids dying were like a family member or something. So never has a stranger been documented to poison a kid with candy. And that's kind of insane because you can look up any way to die and it's like, yep, that happened in the news in Florida once. And yet no, that one hasn't even happened once. So, and yeah, someone's saying Santa could be considered a stranger. It's true. And someone's saying random gift giving maybe from the church. I don't know if churches give out that many random gifts to strangers, to people who already give them money maybe. Churches are a little weird. They sneak around taxes and some stuff. People go to church and that's their biz, all good. You know, you can get some beauty out of it. But not really my style. If there's ever a church-like combo class thing, it will be far different than any church you've seen. But we will study comboism in a strange castle someday. And someone's saying the clock killer. That is not I. I'm not the killer. Like I said, we're going for chaotic good. So our goal is we would never hurt anyone, but we still make massive fire. I mean, I still make massive fires. You don't. So, yeah, whenever I say we related to a fire, just assume I'm talking about some person off screen over here. And someone says can't blame for trying to kill sometime, but nope, no trying to kill. No trying to kill in the combo class. We do prank each other. Actually, I gave my cameraman permission, me and him, not my only cameraman, I have like a few camera people, but one of my main ones, Carlo, me and him, he like filmed a bunch of the main channel episodes. Me and him shook hands on a deal that we're allowed to pull mild pranks on each other in the combo classroom because it'll just make it funnier. And so he got me the first day we made the prank, and it's on footage. You can see the last scene. It turned a little prankish on me, but it's good. It's showing up in the next main channel episode. Also showed up on Patreon for those supporters already. Now is a good time, just to note, for anyone who hasn't signed up for the Patreon, because now's the month where I'm more likely to like interact with people directly or throw a bunch of names and credits or stuff. But here's our sandwich supplies. It's getting really dark, so good time for what you're about to see. So, now also, to show that we like all celebrations, remember we're saying Merry Christmas in our title and stuff, but I'm actually more Jewish, and here's a dreidel and a dreidel dice. So, I don't know if you can see them that well in this light. This is not the crazy dice I've gotten. These I've already shown in a video, the dreidel dice. It's still cool, has the correct odds of a dreidel. But the dice I have in the bag are a whole nother story. So, who's ready for something wild? Okay. I repeat for the YouTube overlords, this is an education channel. It's all about love and safety, and I'm not recommending anyone do this. And I have a hose right there, so it's actually safe. Guys ready? Might need to point this a little lower. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Like I said, a bit of lighter fluid is going to make it go up pretty quick at first. And then we're hoping that it catches those sticks so I can put a larger stick on. That's a nice one. I guess I can pan us up a little bit so you can see me more. Hey folks, like our little campfire for the moment? Can't put the sandwich on it yet. That would still taste like lighter fluid. I also actually haven't figured out how I'm going to put the sandwich on it. Maybe I should have gotten some foil or something. I'm going to need to like somehow lift the sandwich over it using sticks or something. All right, we're gonna put a little more cardboard in because that helps keep it alive long enough to get these sticks roaring. All right, the wet wood is not handling very well. The wet wood is not very happy. Maybe we can feed it with cardboard until it comes back to life good. Because now we're past what the lighter fluid's done. Now we just need to get our natural fire to overcome the wetness in this wood and still catch it. All right. Feed some more little twigs in. Yeah, these branches might also be too young. They feel like they had to get cut from a tree, but they were like younger branches. Okay. The fire is not necessarily going to catch a roaring start. Let's see if we can get past the lighter fluid phase a little better. Pretty soon I'm just going to need to roast the sandwich on it. That stick's on fire for a minute. All right, and while we watch this fire, if anyone wants, leave a comment about if you got anything cool for the holidays or gave anything cool for the holidays gift-wise. We're going to see my gift of dice that I got in a minute. Okay, first we might just have to try and light this enough to just get our sandwich going. Oh no, we're out. Yeah, see, the problem is after it rained, all of the wood got so wet that it's hard to find any wood that wasn't wet. Do you think I can restart it by blowing on it? I did. Told you I could restart it by blowing on it. Okay, we're gonna have to just try and roast the sandwich real quick. Okay, here's one of the pieces of bread. How am I gonna get it over there? I need to like... Okay, we're gonna have to lift it over there with this fork and knife and try and toast it a little bit. This is gonna be a hard mechanism. Well, actually a thwark. It only has 3 prongs. Alright, I'm holding the sandwich over the flame. Let's see if this works at all, if we can get any of the cheese melted. Oh no, I'm blocking the... Ah! Okay, that was a disaster. This part is salvageable. The cheese is not salvageable. Okay, that was a disaster. I'm gonna have to re-slice some cheese and try something else. The fire's also going out. I don't know if that was visible, but the sandwich fell. The bread was okay, but the cheese was not. But yeah, look, when you blow on it, sometimes it restarts it from the embers. I know, you need to get the bits of cardboard with no labels on them, because we don't want to have label burning. One of the sticks is lit. There's one of them that did a good job. Okay, if one of the actual branches is lit, that's a good sign. Alright, gonna slice some more cheese real quick. Good thing I had some backup extra cheese. Alright, this time the cheese is really thick and I couldn't cut it well in time and I doubt it's gonna melt. We're just gonna put the cheese and the meat and the bread and the sandwich all together, and then we're gonna just try and toast the 2 sides of it. And we're gonna have to be really careful about not dropping the sandwich this time. Okay, this is everything except maybe if we sneak a tomato in. Now, how are we gonna roast this? First, let me try and blow the fire a little more toward that end. I need a little trail of cardboard. Alright. No, I can't just hold it over. Maybe I can. Maybe I can just hold it over. The better idea would have been to wrap it in foil. Ow! No, I can't just hold it over. That burns. How am I gonna get it over? I need like a metal grate or something. I need tongs. What do I have? I have so many tools around here. I must have some tool that... Oh, yes! I have everything in the combo classroom, including foil. Yes! This is the way it'll work. I'm going to wrap it in foil, throw it in there, and then it'll cook. Okay. Awesome. Wrapping stuff in foil and cooking it on the fire tastes so good. There's so many options of what you could wrap in your foil. Today we're doing sandwich. Okay, didn't get enough foil on that end. Add a little bit. Yep, there we go. So the sticks are not catching well. It's really the cardboard taking little turns on random parts. So we're gonna have to just add a little cardboard and then just try and sneak that guy into the fire and hope it works. Actually, we'll do one more lighter fluid phase. That might be exciting, and then we'll wait for the lighter fluid to die, and this time we'll time it right. Alright guys, we're trying one more thing. Okay. You guys ready? I may or may not have just added some more lighter fluid. Now where'd the lighter go? There's the lighter fluid, but where's the lighter? Here it is. That's a nice one. When you look into the fire, you can pretend you were in ancient times watching their version of TV. Fire does dances and tells stories. Pretty beautiful, huh? Again, do not copy. Alright, we're getting close to the point where the lighter fluid's died out, and then I can try and throw the sandwich in. Wrapped in foil, it's going to be a little more immune to the lighter fluid anyway, but we don't want too much of the lighter fluid going on while we throw the foil in. Okay. I'm going to sneak this in and hope that it doesn't disrupt the whole structure. One side's getting a lot more right. Okay, we have to build the structure around it almost. Ow. Ah. Sandwich going. Okay. Now the sandwich is on hot embers in a really hot zone, and I think it's going to cook. We might have to turn it or flip it at some point, but I bet you it's cooking in there real good. We do have to time it right. We don't want it to burn. It's really hard to time, so we're going to have to guess and do some experimentation. I mean, this is being the experiment, whether it burns or not. So now, I guess I can hang out here and pull open the comments on my phone, wherever my phone fell. Uh-oh. If my phone fell, that's the thing with the flashlight. No, here it is. So, I'm going to pull open the chat here so I can hang out with my sandwich. Hope you all enjoyed that little flame burst. We haven't even gotten to the dice yet. All right. Thank you all for the comments. Yes, I may make a video on p-adic numbers sometime. They're cool. Do I have favorite prime? Can't pick a single one. A lot of cool numbers. 3 maybe. 3 is a cool prime. 2 and 3 are pretty dope. It did get dark really fast. I told you, it just like hits like a curtain. Now, someone's saying, why wouldn't I put a frying pan? I just didn't have a frying pan right here in the combo class, so I went with something else. However, next time I could try a frying pan. That could maybe work. Someone said, when am I going to add the dice? I'm not going to add the dice to the fire. I'm just going to show you some cool dice. And, yep, thank you all for hanging out with me. So, the sandwich is getting some type of fire around there. It's not going crazy, obviously. The fire chilled out a great degree, but there is some flame behind it. You might not be able to see as well, like a little flame sneaking on the other side of that sandwich. So, yeah, I should use my lab coat as like a glove when I grab it and turn it. The lab coat's handy for all sorts of stuff. It's even somewhat fireproof. Somewhat. Ugh. By the way, if anyone wants to buy me a cool lab coat with like weird pockets or something crazy about it, you can. I'm in the need for a new lab coat for grade -2. Probably just go to a medical supply store like last time, though. Okay, so there's a little fire hanging out there. We'll leave the sandwich a little longer, see if anything cool happens out of it. One or two of the sticks must have been less wet than the others, because 1 or 2 of them caught really well. So, about time to take out and check the sandwich in a second. Where did I put my phone? Here. Alright, someone said I'm not going to eat the dice. No, I was just joking about eating the dice. I said that's one of the combos we cannot attain. Eating the dice, that'll be something for someone else on my team to handle. If anyone is good at eating crazy stuff, contact me and I'll put you in an episode. I've eaten enough not enough, I'll eat more crazy stuff, but I already have a lot of crazy stuff I've eaten on film that I'll show at some point. Let's see if this did anything. It feels warm. Ooh, that feels good. It feels nice and warm. Whoa, there's smoke coming off it. Let me shine a light on it. So, look, it just toasted it a little bit. The cheese got a little melty there. You see that? A little bit of toast, a little bit of warmth. Not all the cheese melted, but you can see a little bit did right there. That's pretty cool. So, here we'll go. Try a bite. Yeah. That's good. Completely worked. Alright. And how'd the charging go? Yeah, we're going up. It's charging faster than it's dying. So, we're gonna need a new solution for light. Temporarily, I can use this flashlight, but before long, we'll need some sort of solution to light, which could be more candles, or we could find a way to do the campfire maybe. But all right, how's this? Whoa, there's crazy shadows over there. I have a big shadow on that wall. A massive version of me. I don't know if you can see that, but look. Do you see hands? You could make a whole shadow play there. You can't see the right angle. The angle looks really cool when you see it. Too dark on the camera to see it. So, thank you. We're going to move on to the dice before long. For now, we'll just have a little hangout in the semi-dark zone. I'm going to eat this sandwich. So, there'll be a little less chatting for the next 5 minutes because I'll be eating this sandwich we cooked on the campfire. However, maybe while I do that, I'll show you a little sneak preview. Let me get that open while I eat the sandwich. A little sneak preview of the next episode. Let's see. Alright. I'm just going to show you guys the uncut intro clip. Let's see. You ready? We're shrinking. Now, I don't know how the sound's going to sound because it's coming through the computer and then back around to you. And a little bit of the edge might be cut off. I'm not sure exactly how much you can see. Hopefully you can see all of that. And we'll, wait, no. Yeah, maybe you can't see all of that. I'll put you here so you can hopefully see all of that. And you guys ready for a sneak preview? Is the uncut version of the first scene. Action. Hey folks, welcome back to a cold winter day in the combo classroom where I'm warming up with a little bit of natural fire while I think about some numbers. And in this episode, when I refer to numbers, I'm going to mean a whole positive number that could be used to count something, like here are 4 leaves. And it's not going to matter how we write down that 4. 4 of a thing does have some traits that it fundamentally has in common with other types of number. Now, if anyone wants to try and see where this is going is, so 4 has, some of the traits are, it has 3 divisors or 3 factors, and it has 2 prime factors, 2 times 2, or 2 squared. All numbers with 3 divisors have 2 prime factors, but not all numbers with 2 prime factors have 3 divisors. Did you know that if you have a number with, let me see what it is right here. If you have a number with, with 4 prime factors, if you had 4 prime factors, it has exactly 5, 8, 9, 12, or 16 divisors. What about the other way around? If you had something like, I have 8 divisors, how many prime factors does it have? It has exactly 3, 4, or 7. And the way I calculated those with this interesting underrated concept in math that has all these beautiful applications I found. So, that might sound boring to some, but the way you get it is magnificent things about these families of numbers and some cool connections to stuff. So, that's a little sneak preview. I forgot to eat my sandwich much during it. So, to anyone who wants to see a more prank-like crazy version of the ending scene, then you got to tune into the Patreon or wait a week. And it's going to be like a 20-minute episode. I'm probably only wait like 3 days or something. It'll come out. I'm trying to put the episodes out 6 days apart on the main channel. Sounds weird compared to a week, but then it switches the day each time. It's faster than a week. Still long enough I can make a miniature masterpiece sometimes. And it's a good number. I like the number 6. So, now, and yeah, why I did the here's what I mean by numbers disclaimer is somewhat like what I said earlier, where some people are like, but you're supposed to say you're only talking about integers. This isn't true for fractions or whatever. But it's also to like kind of lead into some concepts about number theory. You can think of, if it's all whole numbers, as like, I have piles of a thing, or I have things of a size, or something like that, where thinking of things as actual discrete units can be fun sometimes, and then seeing all these patterns could apply to discrete units that could be counting. So, in a moment, I'm going to show you guys some crazy dice. Now, here we got the Dreidel die, but leave some comments while I take 1 or 2 more sandwich bites about what you think the other types of dice I might unveil might be. Where'd that go? What the heck? Oh, here. 3 even even. Yeah, 6 is a 3 even number, and it's the first 3 even apart from 0. Where's the dice? Here. All right. Hopefully this is enough light to see this as I hold these up. I can hold the light closer if it's not. Now, let's see. I'm going to save the weirdest for last. So, here is some interest. Well, here's a normal one. They have some 10-sided ones. Now, it's really funny. I talked on Zoom with a guy who specialized in his PhD about which dice can combine to 100-sided dice that morning before I got these. And by weird coincidence, I got the 2 that add up to 100-sided dice typically, 2 10-sided dice made of kite-like shapes on the surfaces, one of which has just the numbers. Let's see how well you can see this or not. And one of which has 10 times that. Oh no. So, yeah, that's visible. So that's the one with just the numbers. And then one that has that but 10 times that if you treat 0, 0 like 100, or if your range is 0 to 99, add it up with the other one roll together to simulate the odds of a 100-sided dice. And I was actually talking to this dude who I might feature in an episode sometime, who has all this research about what other numbers you could put on them to make it work. And now you could use those to add up to 100-sided dice. But you know what would be even cooler than that? 100-sided dice. This is a 100-sided dice. Although it looks very circular, there's indents on each number that it lands on them fairly. It's not like a platonic solid perfect shape. It has these random little indents in it, but it's fair. It will roll any of the 100 numbers. I believe, I trust the company, with equal probability, because it seems like easy to design that with this shape. I'm not positive. 1 or 100 could be rolled less. I might have to roll this a million times and test it. Because 1 or 100 on the poles, I wonder if it rolls any different, but it should be hopefully fair. Now, that's definitely the dice I have so far with the most amount of sides. But it's not the only one with more sides than usual. I got a 50-sided die. And we can try and roll them maybe if we go indoors. If I roll them here, I'm just going to instantly lose them. This is a 50-sided one. And I even got a 30-sided one. And the 30-sided one uses these little type of quadrilaterals. Boop. Now, what else do you have? Right here, was that even the 30? Yeah. Or is that like a 25-sided die or something? Because here's the 30. This one might be like a... This is a 24-sided die or something? 23... Is it 23? 24? Yeah, this might be a 24-sided die, which is super cool. I like the number 24. That is dope. 1 through 24. And then this one's 1 through 30. That's sick. I like the 1 through 24. So, and yeah, it's inconvenient that 6 and 9 look the same and you need them. They put a little dot or a line or something. It's funny, they even, so there's just a normal 6-sided one that came with it. And they put the line under the 6, even though it's just the numbers 1 through 6. Like without the line where they worried people thought the die had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. Now, here's another normal-ish one that only has 1s, 2s, and 3s, but Roman numeral style. It has 2 of each, so it's like a 3-sided die's odds. But I don't like how they put some of them opposite of themselves and some not. Like the 2s are opposite the 2s, but the 1s aren't. But it's still a 3-sided die, basically, in terms of functionality. Now, we have other shapes that make... Wait, there's one more that's new. This is a 16-sided die. Look, that's cool. So 16 could come in handy for sure. Now, we also have just... This is a normal 20-sided die, I guess. They threw one of those in. We also have one that is a different way of doing a dodecahedron. This is like a rhombic dodecahedron, I believe it's called. Let me look that up and double check if that's the shape real quick. Rhombic dodecahedron. Yeah, this is a rhombic dodecahedron. And it looks like it can tessellate space, maybe. It has, so it's not a platonic solid, but only because the faces, if you look at them, are not a regular polygon. They're kite-like shapes. And it's still really cool. It's a fair dodecahedron made up from this other way of doing a dodecahedron instead of pentagons on the sides, having these 12 rhombuses, or rhombi, maybe is the plural. What else did we get? We got a type of 4, and yeah, to whoever's asking about squares, I've already answered a few questions about squares, so I can't do the whole lesson coming back to squares, but if rational square numbers behave differently than natural squares, I don't know what you mean. Like, a square number typically means a natural number. Pretty much square refers to natural numbers and or zero, depending if you include that. If you a fun fact, if you mean, is like the square root of any number is either going to be an integer if the original number was a square number, or no, the square root of any integer, the square root of any whole number is either another integer if the first was a whole number, or is an irrational number. So this is a four-sided die that has them based on tips. So like these we might have to try and see roll. Okay, I hope you can see that. So like this is a different way of doing the four-sided die, so you can actually see the number clearer on top, as opposed to it's like a truncated, in a way, cut off tetrahedron, instead of having to put the numbers near the top like some do. So that's like a easier to use tetrahedron maybe. Now what are these other two that were sneaking off on the side there? Well, this one apparently is a five-sided die. So it has 5 surfaces. Some of them have the number on it. No, the number doesn't matter if it's on it, because it's whatever's opposite. Opposite every of these 5 surfaces is a number that would land on top. But opposite some of them is another flat, meaning there's a number on it. And opposite others is like on the edge. But it seems like the bottom is supposed to still be fair. However, I have some doubts, because it seems like there's got to be a bias toward this side being like a 3 side and these being flats on the side. Depends how you'd have to roll it. And I have no idea if it's going to roll fairly. I do have a friend who's down to roll it like hundreds of times while I tally the results. So we'll do a stream sometime where I tally a bunch of rolls of this and see if it's actually fair for a 5-sided dice. Now here's the ones I have even more doubts about. A 7-sided die, they claim. It has 7 faces, but there's like irregular amounts between some of them and not between others. I highly doubt this is a fair 7-sided die. Look at it. I've got to test it, roll it hundreds of times, and see if it actually comes up fair. It could. They could be right. So we might have a 5 and a 7-sided die there. It's funny. I guess they tried to get all the numbers in a row from 3 to 7 and some other random ones. So those are all the cool new dice that I got. We will be using those in episodes to prove cool things about probability or modular arithmetic or other fun things. My second last latest episode on the main channel is all about dice tricks, so make sure you've seen that. And whoever asked if I'm a teacher, well, I teach here, but I also have some private students. But I'm hoping over time to switch out of private teaching to more and more teaching you guys. So you're all super cool. Thank you for hanging out for all of the planned activities of the stream. The only remaining one was to try and find more cats, but don't think they want to come around. They probably heard antics of the fire. Might have to catch the cats another time. But feel free to drop any more comments. I'm not sure. Maybe, let's see. Maybe I'll get some candles and we'll continue the stream with a few candles. Did I leave the candle holder out here? There's a candle holder either out here or somewhere in there that I could put candles in. And those actually light the scene pretty good to continue. Oh, maybe if my family's not using it, maybe we could even light a menorah, because it is Hanukkah. But I'm not sure if that's accessible. So, let me grab some candles, because we've done enough campfire action for right now. All you combo lords hang out. I also got to take a leak. I'm going to take a leak, grab some candles, be right back. And remember, even though we've gone through our list of rare items so far, there's always a lot more surprises that could come from combo class. So, stay tuned. I'll be back in a sec. The charger is working. So, I think we might have enough charge right now, a minute, to unplug the charger for a sec. And since it's so dark, what we're going to try for a minute, and we'll grab the charger if or when we need, is my family's not around, so I'm not going to be bothering them. We can hang out on the porch or a front yard where I saw Dandelion. So hang out for a sec while we relocate. And then we're going to get a nice Dandelion hangout while we chat. So, here's a Dandelion. I don't know if you guys can see him. My parents are eating crab with a friend for Christmas, and I'm allergic to shellfish, so I can't eat the crab. And I'm leaning over weird because I'm petting our Lord Dandelion. I don't know if you can see him, but he is the cutest, softest one around. Although, actually, there's Sassafras. There's the stray one. Do you see him? Sassafras is just hanging out right there. He's very scared. He doesn't always let me pet him on the bench. Let me see if Sassafras will let me pet him on the bench. It's kind of rare that he does, but he might. He's really nervous, and Dandelion's right here getting a lot of love, but I'm going to go over to the bench for a second, Dandasaur. I'm going to see if Sassafras can get some love, too. You guys see this cat that was, I don't know if you can see him much, but this cat was completely feral, would not let any human near him before, and now he has a name, Sassafras, and he lives here, and he's very happy. So this is the third cat, who you haven't met as much. He's being very nice and sweet right now. He's never bit or scratched me. He just used to run away, and now he lets me pet him. He's so nice. He came from a rough childhood, though. He's like malnourished and has like missing hair and stuff, but he's starting to grow some back. But he's so nice. That's a good Sassafras. So that's a little appreciation cat break. Now back to Dandelion and you guys over here. So thank you all for random chatting and stuff. Now I'm not going to hang out for too much longer on the stream. I'm gonna real quick say one more Merry Christmas or whatever you celebrate. Awesome season. Try and appreciate whatever warmth and gifts and family and stuff. If anyone has any questions they want to drop in the comments, or drop any cool gifts that you, or just a gift that you would give someone if you had the budget, some crazy gift. But feel free to ask any more questions or thoughts, or leave any more appreciations. Those are extra cool when people say something that they are happy or loving or appreciative of. That'll spread some of that to other people. You know, if we're going to be learning a lot in combo class, we got to also just keep that chill, loving vibe where it's like, if you pause from the learning and look around at the comments or whatever, that you're going to have some good love. So you guys are all super cool. Remember, if you want to chat more, you can always join the Discord. A bunch of people chatting there. You can also check out the subreddit, which has just a few dope posts, but there's not much on there, but so far so good. And we also, of course, have the Patreon, which is very helpful for me. And we will be streaming probably again tomorrow, because I'm not going to have anything going for Christmas Day either around here. Now, that doesn't, I don't know if that'll be a busier or less busy stream. It's funny how holidays work like that, a little paradoxical, where it could be like equally busy in the long run, because there's like more people free, but more people busy also. What's happening on the Discord, someone asked? Just a lot of chatting, a lot of sub-threads about math and random combo chat and stuff. The link is in the description here. And there's a lot of cool combo lords just talking about all sorts of cool knowledge and fun stuff. And I haven't gone through all the threads yet, but when I have more time, I'm going to go more through there because it's always fun. I like to reply to people sometimes. And to whoever asked if it's near the end, unfortunately, yes. But remember that rewatching the streams, I try and make them exciting for that. So if you rewatch it, you'll get to see a campfire and some cool dice. Now, yeah, I think I'm gonna log off pretty soon. We got a bunch of cats around here. I need to eat more food. That sandwich kind of got my hunger going where I haven't eaten much today, and then you eat a little bit and then get super hungry. Eating that bit of sandwich, which is actually really good, and I'm gonna finish in a minute, is gonna make me want some more actual food I should get. But I've been streaming like almost every day, so it's at different times. Rewatch the old streams if you're ever bored. A lot of fun stuff happening there. And yeah, I don't know what time I'll do it tomorrow, but for sure I will sometime. We actually can see some nice stars out. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. Let's see if it's possible. So can you see any stars up there? I can see a good amount. So stars are funny. When you have light pollution in the air, it's harder to see them. And so when you go out camping or something and you're farther from city lights and stuff, you can see them way better. But on certain nights, you can see them pretty nice still out here. And right now is like a medium but pretty solid night, but you can't see them in the camera, I don't think. Someone wanted to ask if oh, Mod Pizza, someone said. I heard about it. Can you really get like any amount of toppings for the same price there? Because that sounds crazy. That sounds like what I would get into. Team doors or team wheels is like a question of if there's more doors or more wheels in the world. And it really depends on what you call a door. Like if you have like a thing with a bunch of little compartments that half open, depending how you define door could or couldn't win. So it could go either way. Now, if you're really open-ended about what you call a door, I say door wins. If you're more strict, I say wheel wins. So maybe not a team type answer you'd want. There are certain teams I will claim. I'm team whiteboard versus team chalkboard. I am team nature versus team civilization. But I don't really have a strict foot in the battle of doors or wheels. Yeah, so if they let you put every topping on there, like someone's saying, I would go way too crazy. I would get like everything. So I'll maybe have to try that sometime. But yeah, I wonder what's even open now. I'm gonna walk around and maybe get some Mexican food or something, someplace that is still open. See what's there. So, and someone thinks the conversation is more fun the more unhinged and inclusive you make them. So if you're super inclusive, then I say doors. I think there are more things that open than things that slide. But yeah, hard to say. It's a good question. Feel free to try and think of other variations of what two things would be hard to gauge whether there's more of one or the other. So, in any case, I'm going to log off now because now that I've unplugged from the wall, the battery's starting to go back down. And I want to eat some food and stuff. More than that, sandwich was really good, but I need some more stuff. And so we'll be back for a stream at some point tomorrow. I'm not sure when. I'll probably announce it in the Discord like half an hour before so people can check there. And I usually like schedule it on the channel a little before. So if you randomly check the bonus channel, you might see there's a stream coming or going on. In any case, lots of more combo class stuff to come. You'll see that whole Prime Signatures episode in a few days and some more random shorts. So make sure to rewatch whatever streams you missed. Love you all so much. One last thing of gratitude for how we have spiraled up in Combo Lords and how I still have some cool cats in nature and fresh air and stuff. So, and some cool new dice. So, love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will catch you